Welcome to the GPT, and no, we ain't talking about no weak-ass AI. This is the great place it takes, and this is 10 things you didn't know about Kyrie Irving.
Irving gets to the rim. Oh, beautiful English.
Let's get straight into it then. So Kai, like most dudes in the NBA, is from America, but what most people don't know is that the one-time NBA champion was actually born in Australia.
What?
That's right, man. My mate's from down under. He was born to American parents in the suburbs of Kew in Melbourne, Australia in March 1992. He lived there with his parents and elder sister till he was 2 years old. And after that, they moved back to good old USA. And if you ask me, that more than qualifies Kylie to be an Australian. And in case you're wondering why his parents were in Australia to begin with, it's because his dad, Derrick, had moved there to play professionally for the Bulleen Boomers and the SEABL. I'm sorry, who? The Seabowl?
Bruh.
Yeah, that's the Southeast Australian Basketball League. Yeah, I totally knew what that was before today. So yeah, his dad played b-ball overseas professionally. And I'm in a good mood, so I'll squeeze in another fun fact at number 10. Irving actually has Native American roots since his late mom, Elizabeth Ann Larson, was a member of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Recently in 2018, Kyrie and his sister participated in a Lakota naming ceremony, and Kyrie was given the name Hela, which means Little Mountain. And Kyrie may be Little Mountain, but this little known training hack that Kyrie used had a big impact on his game. Kyrie has a secret weapon for how he developed his elite handles that he dazzles the world with in the NBA. And he learned it from a Baron Davis documentary. Kyrie ties a plastic bag around the basketball when he's training. That's right, you can get elite training with this hack, and it's affordable. You ain't gotta buy them BS ball hog gloves that every single NBA fan has seen a commercial for on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about. For just 99 cents, you can get the same effect. And you might wonder, how does wrapping a plastic bag around a basketball improve your handles? Well, it makes a lot of sense when you think about the effects of the bag. The plastic reduces the bounce and the feel of the ball, so it's harder to dribble and harder to handle. So the player has to be very focused and put some more grit into dribbling with the ball, especially doing complex dribble combinations and move drills. Still hard to believe? Why don't you go out there and try it, man? I might have to add this into my routine at the rec league at the Y, man. Yeah, you know I'm playing in that 65 and over division. And nah, I ain't 65, but you know I gotta get buckets somehow. So yeah, man, plastic bags combined with hours and hours of pounding the rock is how Kyrie got his insane ball on a string magician handle. But Kyrie's father and blood family weren't the only magical hoopers around him growing up. Does the name Rod Strickland ring a bell? Probably not if you were born after 2000, unless you're an NBA superhead or you've been following since the late 90s. Anyways, Rodney Strickland played as a point guard for several NBA teams, including the Heat, Spurs, Minnesota T-Wolves, and Toronto Raptors. And during his peak seasons, he was considered one of the best point guards in the league and known for his crafty finishing ability as well as his playmaking and ball handling abilities. Sound familiar? You better believe that Rod Strick gave Kyrie every ounce of his bag. He's been in Kyrie's life since he was born, as Strickland and Derrick had been friends since their childhood days in the Bronx. The two used to even sneak into the local gym at night just to get some extra hoop in. So when Kyrie set out at a young age to make it to the NBA, Rod becoming his godfather was almost a no-brainer. Plus, Strickland had experience coaching college basketball teams, so yeah, he was definitely godfather / pro trainer material. Now, remember how we started off this list by saying Kyrie was from down under? Well, Kyrie actually has dual citizenship as a result of being born there, so he's eligible to play for the Aussie national basketball team. However, Team USA's always got the best talent in the world. But let's go back in time. The year was 2010, and a 17-year-old Kyrie received an invite to play for Australia's U18 select team, and Kyrie was all over it. He wanted to be a starting guard for a national team at all costs. And you got to admire the dude for wanting to try and carry his birth country and compete against the best stars in the world from the US. And believe me when I tell you, Kai was dead set on playing for the team down under. No one could tell him nothing. And this man wanted to be a kangaroo at all costs, mate. But eventually, his future college coach and then Team USA head coach, Mike Krzyzewski, had an intervention with Kyrie and was able to convince him to not switch allegiances. And it's a good thing he did, because if Kyrie had played for Australia back back then, he would have lost his eligibility to play for the US on the men's team in the future. Now, Coach K strong-armed my guy a little bit. He had to get him to see the bigger picture, and he had to stroke his ego a little, saying, "You have an opportunity to be the starting point guard and face of USA basketball." Man, that was music to Kyrie's ears. And had it not been for this convo, we would have never got this iconic clip of Kai crossing up Kobe and other Hall of Famers in his Team USA practice. And we would have never seen the incredible display he put on in the 2016 Olympics. And Team USA is quite fortunate that Coach K stepped in, as Team Australia came to play in Rio in 2016. And they took Team USA to the brink in the Olympics, as they'd cut USA's lead to just 4 with minutes left in the game until Kyrie hit a dagger three-pointer to pull away. But you could say things could have gone very different if Kai was on the other side. But thanks to Kyrie, Team USA got the gold. Now, next on the list of things you ain't know about Kyrie is number 6. Kyrie's got talent. Wait, hold up. Tadoy. Everyone knows Kyrie's talented, bro. He's one of the most talented hoopers ever, and possibly the most skilled guard to touch a ball. But bruh, we not talking about hoops on this one, because my dude got equal talent on the stage as on the hardwood. That's right, man. Kyrie Irving can sing. He can sing. He can sing. Kyrie Irving can sing. He can sing. When he was in St. Patrick High School in New Jersey, he appeared in his school's musical version of Disney's hit High School Musical. But soaring, flying. Sorry, man, had me reminiscing there. My guy had a star role, including a solo, as the school made him play Corbin Blue's character, Chad. And luckily for us, we found this footage of him practicing some of his character's dance moves. Gotta get your head in the game. Gotta get your head in the game. That's funny, man, but that's not all. Kyrie also plays the baritone saxophone and the trombone. And to drip even more sauce on it, this dude can also play the piano. That shit's fire, man. My guy should start a band with Victor Oladipo for real. And to this day, Kyrie's still a big fan of musicals. His favorite musical is Rent, a Broadway rock musical written by Jonathan Larson. Alternative reality, Kyrie winning Grammys. And speaking of different realities, that brings up number 5. Kyrie is a flat earther. And if you don't know what a flat earther is, you may have been living under a flat rock. A flat earther is someone who believes that the earth is not round like a globe, but that is flat like a penny, and that NASA and the government has a crazy conspiracy to keep us all in the globe reality. And at that point, this was viewed as Kyrie's biggest PR blunder. I think people would disagree with that nowadays, though. He stated on a podcast in 2017 that he believed the earth was flat. But he went on to defend that belief by saying a lot of things taught in school are not actually factual, saying, "I think people should do their own research. I've seen a lot of things that my educational system has said was real, but turned out to be completely fake. I don't mind going against the grain in terms of my own thoughts." And hey, man, I don't know if it's flat or round, but I do respect that opinion that you should think for yourself and do your own research on things, and not just take all the spoon-fed public school garbage that we get these days. Now, in that soundbite, he sounded pretty confident about his beliefs, and it turns out he was, but eventually he softened over the next couple months and had to render a public apology. Now, we know due to some, we'll say controversial statements recently, Kyrie's relationship with Nike has been a bit on the rocks to say the least. But what I bet you didn't know is Kyrie wasn't just any other NBA player signing with Nike. Kyrie was the first rookie point guard ever signed by Nike, and just the 3rd player ever signed on a rookie deal. Only LeBron and KD had ever signed on their rookie years. Remember Rod Strickland we was talking about before? He had to have played a big hand in this, as he had already been signed with Nike before his godson even got into the big leagues. He also became the first player in 6 years to have a Nike signature shoe when in 2014, the Nike Kyrie 1 was launched. Number 3, Kyrie barely even had a college career. If there's one word you could use to boil down Kyrie Irving, it's that he's different from everyone else around him, and it showed in his college career. He committed to play for the Duke Blue Devils at the start of his final year in high school. Okay, that's pretty mainstream, so what's different about it? Well, he started off great. In his first 8 games, he started 7 of them, averaging 17.4 points per game on 53% shooting, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 steals. Already, he was a strong contender for Freshman of the Year, but then disaster struck. Irving suffered a severe ligament injury on his right big toe during the 9th game of the season, and could only make 3 other appearances till season's end. But Kyrie's talent is so different that he still went #1 overall to the Cleveland Cavaliers, despite just playing 11 college games. Man, you got talent like that, you could just skip college, man. We gotta bring back the high school to NBA pipeline, bro. And number 2, if Kyrie wasn't an NBA player, what do you think he'd be? A world-renowned saxophonist? A Disney star? Maybe. But there was one other career path that Kyrie always thought about, and that was he wanted to be a journalist. It's funny to think that he wanted to be a member of the media, considering how ostracized he is by the media these days. I'm looking at you, YouTube comment warriors. But it's true, growing up, Kyrie always wanted to be a journalist, and even keeps a journal to this day to maintain his writing skills. It contains his daily life, his opinions on the world and news, and loads of mottos and quotes like the hungry and humble slogan featured on the Kyrie 1 sneakers. Kai hopes to be able to chase his journalism dreams whenever he decides to hang up the shoes for good. But one thing's for sure, even if it's not journalism, Kyrie could definitely be on TV. For those who don't know, he featured on a Disney XD show called Kickin' It when he was in his teen years. And number 1 of the things you didn't know about Kyrie is that Kyrie started hooping at just 1 year old, man. And dude started getting buckets when he was just 13 months old. Now Kai already began showing impressive ball control and could dribble with both hands as a toddler. And by the time he was age 4, he could make regular baskets on a regulation size 10-foot hoop. Kid was a natural baller, and he was getting them reps in before he could even talk. But you know my man didn't stop there. By the time he was 6 years old, little Kai had begun seamlessly sinking left-hand lays. He actually used to be left-hand dominant, and it actually took until high school for him to complete his famous lay package with his right hand. It's no wonder my man got this good. Talk about 10,000 hours, man. I don't know what you were doing age 1 to 4, but I was probably busy taking a dump on myself, man, not getting buckets. And you know who else is getting buckets? Of cash, that is. LaMelo Ball. This man's dropping 6 figures on NFTs and chains, and millions on houses and cars. So if you want to check out LaMelo Ball's baller lifestyle, check out this video right here, man. Come on, man, click the video already. What are you doing?